have to pass these cars. It's gonna be a little interesting.
Hopefully they don't get in the passing lane.
It's pulling pretty good. Quarter mile, 16-second quarter mile, 93, 94. That's a cop up there. Alright, I hate to be a buzzkill, but the new Land Cruiser is just not fast. So what I'm showing right now is our best 0 to 60 time, 8.23 second. Car and driver would call that a 7.9 probably, because they subtract 0.3 seconds of rollout. That's pretty darn slow for a vehicle that's supposed to have a hybrid system that's kind of performance optimized. I think the tune on this thing is very conservative. Launch is very soft. Transmission shift's good, but the hybrid system's adding a lot of weight. And you gotta remember, this is a very tiny hybrid battery. It's got nothing on the Jeep 4xe I tested, which had, you know, a battery that was 10 times larger and larger capacity. And you could plug in hybrid and stuff and do different performance modes. So this launch was in sport mode, and it's still slow as crap. So not impressed with the hybrid system or the acceleration in this Land Cruiser, but it does feel fine driving around. It's just not nearly as quick as the 5.6 second 0 to 60 I got with the Jeep 4xe last time I was in LA. But anyway, we're going to do some off-roading now, and the powertrain does perform really, really well off-road. I just definitely wouldn't get it myself. It wastes too much interior space, it's too complicated, and it's too heavy, and the hybrid system isn't getting you any more speed or power effectively. So yeah, you missed that, Toyota. So Caleb's going to attempt this first little obstacle here in the new Land Cruiser. It's kind of a loose surface. It's pretty steep. And it's got a big washout. People were spinning here and a rock there. Look at the flex. It's your, yeah, your control arm's on the rock, so back up like a foot, real slowly. We're gonna put your tire on it to lift the truck up. That's good. Now steer a little bit to the driver, right there, and come forward real slow. You got it. Whoa. All right. Lock the rear differential, multi-train select, rock mode. Oh, lock the center differential too. Stop. So this wheel isn't trying to do anything, and all of the other 3 wheels are spinning. Okay. And you're in 4 low rock. So your A-track wasn't doing anything. Huh. Try crawl control. Really good flex. Steer towards me a little bit. A little more. All right. Keep coming. Whoa. So what we discovered here is that the new crawl control / multi-train select, which is just a fancy name for brake LSD with some throttle control, in this truck is very different than the previous generation Prado, like my 460. It's very smooth when it engages. You don't hear any clicking or banging from the brakes locking in, but it's also less aggressive. It had a really hard time getting that passenger front wheel turning. Multi-train select never actually did. We had to go to crawl control speed 2 to get over this obstacle. So they made it smoother, but they also made it weaker. It really needs a front locker. And put your crawl control on speed 2. All right, here we go. Crawl control in a higher speed setting. It's right there. Okay, come straight up. Just straight. Turn driver. It didn't actually hit anything. That's just your suspension tweaking. No, I'm serious. I'll show you the video. But you didn't drag. Oh, yeah. So watch how annoying this screen is. So Caleb's got it in the nice off-road view. And as soon as he goes over like, I don't know, 6-7 miles an hour.
It's 8 miles an hour.
8 miles an hour, it toggles to this screen. That is obnoxious. Then it comes back. It's very distracting. Troy needs to fix that in the software update.
Over 8 miles an hour, they want you to look where you're going.
So this trail's gotten a bit more narrow, but you know the truck's got 500 miles on it, so it's time to scratch it up now. You know. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ow. Oh, it's breaking my heart. Super cool trail though. Totally found it on accident as usual. Got it. Very cool. We're a little bit sideways right now, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, it's beautiful out here. Just go nice and slow. Little driver. Yep. Straight. Yeah, a lot of off-camber stuff, which is Charlie's favorite thing in the whole world. Straight up, little passenger. Got pretty far up this super steep hill, and it's very loose. We were kind of spinning the whole way up, and crawl control started to dig itself in right there. So we hiked ahead, and there's really no more trails, so Caleb's gonna back down. He's attempting to back down in crawl control, speed 1, because it's a very loose surface, and the tires that come on the Land Cruiser are very baby all-terrain, so don't want to give them any excuse to start sliding. Looking good. Basically, you want your tire to hit the end of that tree. Okay, so here's coming back down that obstacle from earlier. I absolutely love the front sway bar disconnect system. We had it disconnected for all of this, but we frequently, cycled that system on the dirt roads to make sure it worked good. Never had an issue with it whatsoever. It keeps the head tossing down, keeps the front end flexing much better than older Toyotas. And I think it's very superior to my KDSS because it just rides smoother with it fully disconnected instead of being hydraulically decoupled. Yeah, super nice system. Definitely want to get one of these platforms that has the true sway bar disconnect. I am totally over my KDSS and my GX460. It's starting to cause problems, and it never really rode that smooth. Yeah, I totally missed the rock coming down. It was sliding a little bit, though. Oh, yeah. Hey, try multi-terrain select rock now and see if it works. That is a lot of flex for the factory shock and everything. Wow. That's sick. Do you have the rear diff locked? Yeah. Unlock it and just use multi-terrain select rock. I want to see if it's going to get the front wheel turning. Hard driver. Very nice. That was sweet. So some of the software in this truck's driving us nuts. So Caleb's in low range right now, and he's been in low range for about 30 minutes. And this message about VSC being disabled keeps coming on and off, and the icons keep kind of flashing to remind you that it's off. It's very distracting when you're off-roading.
Yeah, it also lets me know that I can't use my electric parking brake.
Yeah, and then this stupid screen right here, as soon as you come to a stop, switches back and forth to cameras every around 8 miles an hour. It's just, it's very frustrating. So while I absolutely love the new suspension and the way this thing drives and how stable and comfortable it is, I am very disappointed with Toyota for not putting more off-road features on the Land Cruiser. This is going to be the exact same truck as the 4Runner, and they didn't do anything to give the Land Cruiser more off-road ability. It actually has some worse angles than the 4Runner. The spare tire's in a stupid spot. It doesn't have a front locker. I think that's a huge miss by Toyota. They should have given the Land Cruiser some actual off-road goodies, like maybe some nice skid plates. I don't know. So one of the cool things about this truck being a hybrid is that for camping you have some unique features. Like you can run the AC with the engine off for a while. You've got a pretty big 240 watt outlet back here, inverter, so you can run a whole griddle. Unfortunately, the hybrid battery is kind of small. It's only like, what is it, 1.87 kilowatt hours?
That's correct.
So you can cook for about 15 minutes and the truck turns on for 15 minutes and then it's off for 15 minutes. But right now we are cooking using the hybrid battery and the inverter, and we're not using any gas at the moment. Obviously we have to recharge the battery at some point. But if this thing had a bigger hybrid battery and was a plug-in hybrid, that'd be really cool. So we're driving the 2024 Land Cruiser on this beautiful mountain road right here, somewhere in California, and it handles just like a freaking car. Like, the sway bars are very good. There's no body roll, and the suspension is like not incredibly soft like all of my vehicles. Pretty smooth. So the engine braking on this thing is pretty poor. So he's got it as low as it'll go, which is manual 3, and we're still accelerating downhill. We started in 5th gear, went to 4th gear, then to 3rd gear. So the big question is this new powertrain any good? I think the 4-cylinder turbo motor is great. It has really good low down torque. I think it'll actually tow pretty well. It accelerates the vehicle appropriately. It's not a rocket ship, but it's fine to drive around town and accelerate on the highway. However, Toyota would need to do a lot of work to the hybrid system for me to purchase a hybrid version of this truck. The battery is too small and too heavy and too large. It needs a lithium battery. It needs some stronger regenerative braking. You know, with the Jeep 4xe, when you put your foot off the accelerator, you could feel it recharging the battery. This truck, you never really feel the hybrid system do anything, and I'm not sure that it is. So I really think they need to at least retune this hybrid system, but I wouldn't buy it unless they put a lithium battery in it. It's not enough capability to be worth the complexity. But that's just my 2 cents. I do like the motor. Like I said earlier, one problem is that there's no engine braking, effectively no engine braking because it's a small, low compression motor. But you know, it has the hybrid system, so that should give you regenerative braking, and you don't really have that either. So Toyota needs to do some fine tuning with this system before I would consider spending my money on it.